Alex's journey into awesomeness. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Journey into Awesomeness. I am your intrepid host, Alex, and today we're going to be talking about a particular poem. It's on the longer side, I'm warning you right now, and it's called Diving into the Wreck by Adrienne Rich. I hope you enjoy it. Without further ado, diving into the wreck. First, having read the books of myth, and loaded the camera, and checked the edge of the knife blade, I put on the body armor of black rubber, the absurd flippers, the grave and awkward mask. I am having to do this not like Cousteau with his assiduous team aboard the sun-flooded schooner, but here alone. There is a ladder. The ladder is always there, hanging innocently close to the side of the schooner. We know what it's for, we who have used it. Otherwise, it is a piece of maritime floss, some sundry equipment. I go down, rung after rung, and still. The oxygen immerses me, the blue light, the clear atoms of our human air. I go down. My flippers cripple me. I crawl like an insect down the ladder, and there is no one to tell me when the ocean will begin. First the air is blue, then it's a bluer, and then green, and then black. I am blacking out, and yet my mask is powerful. It pumps my blood with power. The sea is a different story. The sea is not a question of power. I have to learn alone, to turn my body without force in the deep element. And now, it is easy to forget what I came for. Among so many who have always lived here, swaying their crenellated fins between the reef and besides, you breathe differently down here. I came to explore the wreck. The words are purposes. The words are maps. I came to see the damage that was done and the treasures that prevail. I stroked the beam of my lamp and slowly along the flank of something more permanent than fish or weed. The thing I came for, the wreck, and not the story of the wreck, the thing itself, and not the myth, the drowned face always staring towards the sun, the evidence of damage, worn by salt and sway into this threadbare beauty, the ribs of the disaster curving their assertion among the tentative haunters. This is the place, and I am here. The mermaid whose dark hair streams black, the merman in his armored body. We circle silently about the wreck. We dive into the hold. I am she. I am he. Whose drowned face sleeps with open eyes, whose breasts still bear the stress, whose silver, copper, vermeil cargo lies obscurely inside barrels, half wedged and left to rot. We are the half-destroyed instruments, the once held to a course, the water-eaten log, the fouled compass. We are. I am. You are, by cowardice or courage, the one who find our way back to the scene, carrying a knife, a camera, a book of myths in which our names do not appear. So I want to talk about why this poem means something to me and how it relates to the law of attraction, like I always do. So, what does it mean to dive inside the wreck? What is she talking about when she said this? The wreck is us, right? We're diving inside ourselves. And why would we do that? Well, if you go to a therapist, full disclosure, I do, you talk about yourself. You talk about your stuff, whatever your stuff is, and you talk about the ability to delve into it and discover more about yourself. So there she is. She's diving in. She sees the ladder, and this is a fantastic phrase. She said the ladder is always there, and we know what it's for. But if you don't use it, it's just something that flops around on the side of the boat. It just sits there like another sundry piece of dross floating around in the sea. Except that ladder is the call to adventure. And if as Joseph Campbell says, and I'm going to be talking about more about Joseph Campbell soon, he synthesized all of these various myths. And she says at the end, we look in the book of the myths, the notes of the myths, and our names are not there. Because those myths are guides. They're not the end-all be-all. They can merely serve as a sort of a map to get us into diving into the wreck. The wreck is us. And what do we get? We find the treasure of ourselves. We find who we are inside of this wreck, inside of this body that we've amassed over the course of a lifetime, of our experiences, of our mental, spiritual, and physical health, or lack thereof. And then we put that together. We make sense of it. Like, humans are meaning-making machines. You dive in and you make sense of this thing about yourself. You find out about yourself. What are you made of? What are the pieces of you? And once you find that, you can begin to put these pieces together and see an image of what you are, who you are. And from there, move into manifesting what you want. But how can you know what you want if you don't know who you are? How can you know what you want? How can you choose what you want to manifest? Other than willy-nilly going through life and just manifesting whatever happens to come up. Dive into yourself. Find out what that is. Find out who that is. I am she. I am he. I love that. That's so cool. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.